Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's Elle here. Happy Thursday. I hope this finds all of you well. It's Thursday today, and we are here today. We're going to be talking about, I call it this because I'm a visualizer. I like to visualize things, and I call it this: the Wonder Woman or Superman, quote unquote, quote, air quotes, I'm over the TF, or heck with, or even F the TF strategies that come up a lot in my coaching with students, in just basically what we see in the student activity, and actually what has even happened to myself on this journey. We're going to be talking about that and why it doesn't work. In fact, if you are using something like that, which is what in this 3D world a lot of us do in order to get over things, get through things. It's just out there. It's taught very well. We're brought up in that way a lot of times. Our friends push us in that direction a lot of times. Our family members who care about us, and when they see us going through very difficult and hard things, that's what they encourage us to do. So we're just trying to get a little bit more information out there, especially with something like this, because a lot of people do this and it's really not going to help you. And in fact, it makes it a little bit harder for you. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what you want to take note of here is a link below to schedule a free Clarity call with one of our Clarity coaches. And what that's going to do is, if you've been watching these videos and you find yourself on the twin flame journey, going from website to website, teaching to teaching, guru to guru, and you're not getting to a better place where you feel better, because it's what it's all about, people. In this world, in 3D, they're going to teach you, when I say there, I mean everything pretty much else out there. They're going to teach you that it's not about how you feel. And you're going to find there's a lot of things on this journey. It's not anything about what you've learned out there on how to handle it. No one knows really how to handle it when it comes upon you. So no one's really prepared for it. And a lot of people, as I did, as my teacher Elle did, you employ just everything you know about coping with things, about heartbreak, about all these things, and you're finding none of it works. It doesn't matter. It's just not getting you anywhere. And so that's why we're here. And that's why we're here to help you and teach you about what does work. And it's called balancing your fear-based energy. So if you find you're on this journey and you are just stuck, you are on the floor, you are in absolute pain, including physical pain, especially feeling like in this area, you are finding you're there, stay tuned, because you're going to want to talk to one of our Clarity coaches and get yourself moving along on this journey and not feeling so stuck. So we're talking today about the Wonder Woman, Superman, I'm over the TF, or to heck with, or even F the TF strategies on this journey. And I'm being very specific about this because, geez, I went through this myself, because this is what I knew, this is what I learned, this is what I knew in my life, getting through things. And most of my students get to this point. Now, there's a lot of you here seeing this video that you're not in this program. You have no idea what's happening. And a lot of you may already be at that point. There's so many things that you cycle through on this journey. And so many of you might be at that point. Many of you have just begun on this journey. And many of you have been on this journey for a very, very long time. A very long time. And you're finding that now it's coming in you to start to learn about it, to deal with it, because this thing will just not go away. It just doesn't. It's not meant to, folks. The twin flame journey is a journey about you. Now, it may present itself as a relationship. It may present itself as a very close friendship, or even just some kind of quote-unquote chemistry connection you have with someone that will just not go away. It won't go away. It never goes away. It's not meant to, because this journey is about you. It's something that gets activated inside of you. And we'll get to that in just a little bit. But right now I'm talking about what the crazy things, and I've done this myself, and it's very common and very popular. Popular meaning a lot of people do it because that's our culture, you know. It's pretty much F the TF. I'm over her, I'm over him, you know, or whatever it is. And you try to employ that type of strategy or tactic to get through this, and it's not going to work. And why is that? People go, why doesn't that work? It worked for everybody else. Because this is not a relationship, folks. It is not a relationship. It is a reunion of the soul. And the rules, I mean, the quote-unquote rules are completely different. It is not a relationship. We'll start out with that, and that's why it doesn't work when we try and do that. You know, there's so many other things that I've heard over time. I've had people tell me when I was in the middle of this, you know, horrible feeling, being on the floor for 5 months. You know, F the DF, F him. You don't need, Aniela, you don't need him or her or whatever. A lot of people go through this. F them. You know, it's this anger thing that comes out. And, you know, anger is a very valid emotion. It's a very valid emotion, but sometimes in what we're taught in this society and in our culture, you know, coming through, you use that anger to do something with it. And honestly, you know, anger is a very valid emotion, but when you remain in it, it will not get you anywhere. It doesn't. Anger is part of your fear-based energy, and sometimes if we are able to let ourselves feel that anger and let it pass through us, it brings us to another place, actually most of the time. But what people do is we remain in that anger as if anger is going to be able to help you do something. And honestly, folks, anger is an emotion. It doesn't. It's a very valid emotion. It can happen on a daily basis for people. But remaining in that anger is not going to get you anywhere. Not on this journey, especially not on the TF journey, and not really in anything. You have to move past that anger in order to figure things out. If you're in 3D trying to think things through, or if you're on this journey, you just have to move past that anger, because anger is the fear-based energy which feeds up, which makes you feel like crap. That's the bottom line, okay? So I hear a lot of things like F the TF. You know, I've heard people say, you know, in order to get over someone, you have to get under someone else. Like, gosh, that's so crass, but a lot of people have that outlook, you know. Sometimes people out of this, you know, place where they're in the F the TF zone, you know, they do things to try and, you know, spark a reaction out of them. They display dating other people, or they're going to do something to try and make the TF jealous, as it happens a lot in 3D. People do that, you know. In relationship and dating, it happens all the time. And I will tell you right now, that is especially not going to work on this journey. In fact, that will backfire more than anything else. More than anything else. And that you don't want to go there. And what's employing here, what's happening here is when you're trying to do these types of tactics and strategies to get you through this, basically, what is the literal interpretation of it? Get over your TF. Get over. And folks, you can't, because the TF is you. That's the bottom line. How do you get over yourself? How do you move on past yourself? You don't. And that's why there is no way of knowing how to manage all of this until you learn how to balance your fear-based energy. A lot of us do it. A lot of us are Wonder Woman or Superman, and we're trying so hard. We're so strong. We're so resilient. We're so like, F them. It's not helping, because that focus is directly on the TF. And if you want to get to a place on this journey where you start to, just even in little ways, every single day, start to feel better and better and better, you have to learn how to balance your fear-based energy. There's no other way around it. All of that tactic, you know, it might work in 3D. Sometimes it does. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't work at all. Sometimes it does in 3D. But it will not get you anywhere on this journey. In fact, it's going to keep you where you're at, feeling like crap. You know, what happens is when you are embarking on this journey and soul recognition happens, your fear-based energy, which lives out there in every single one of us, it gets activated. When the soul recognizes itself in the physical form of another, which is your TF, your fear-based energy will become activated like nothing else you've ever seen. We all live in fear-based energy, but it becomes activated and it literally becomes addicted people to the physical form of the TF. And what happens is it's just like really like any other addiction. You're obsessed with it. You can't get over it. You can't get through it. You have no idea. All your fear-based energy wants is a hit of the physical form of the TF, which is the drug of choice, in any way, shape, or form. Any way, shape, or form. And that's where our focus is. When you stop and think about any other type of addiction, your focus is on that. Whatever it is, the addiction is to. That's all it is. And so many times, you go through stages of doing great, you know, feeling great, and then you'll crash. You'll crash. It's an addiction, folks. And if anything else does not make sense about this journey, as nothing really does. It does to us. We've been through it. We coach people through it. We do understand and resonate with it now. But if anything else does not make sense to you, one thing that a lot of people, even if they've never had an addiction, they can understand that this is not something that's just gonna go away. No. You need, you can get through. There's people who've been on this journey for ages before enlightenment and knowledge came about all of this and what's actually happening to you. And they got through it. Did they survive? Yeah, they survived. But did they know what happened to them? No, they didn't know. I myself know people who were on this journey years ago that only after going through my journey, I was able to understand that they were on that journey too. And that's why the things that happened in their life happened the way it did. So if you can't understand anything else, understand this. It is an addiction, folks. It is an addiction. It's not anything that's going to, adversely kill or harm your body like a lot of addictions or anything of that sort. But this is an addiction that's really going to keep you, if you don't learn how to balance that fear-based energy, it's going to keep you where you're at, just kind of moving along in a lot of pain for a lot of people. I know it was for me. Now, if you're wondering, what does that mean? If I focus on them, Aniela, and it just, what happens is you literally, there's a lot of things that can happen on this journey that's hallmark. One thing for sure, that is, hallmark meaning it happens with everybody, and it's a normal and natural thing, is that when you do that, you push them, the TF, literally further away. Now, here is one journey that you will be the one to decide. You will be the one to decide, even though you don't think it right now, even though you don't feel like it right now. Once you start learning how to balance your fear-based energy, you are the one to decide what you want, everything you want, everything you don't want. That is your choice. It truly is. But right now, when you're in this place, it doesn't feel that way. So if you want to even think or have or even just entertain something in the back of you that, if I want to be with the TF, I'm going to have to knock this off. You have to start there. You have to start with your focus. Can it happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. People don't think it can, but it can. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to find what this journey is really about. It's you. And only in balancing your energy can that even be possible. To be in a lasting, permanent, and loving, quote-unquote, relationship. Because again, folks, this is not a relationship. It's a reunion of the soul. The rules are all different. And the biggest rule you have to remember on this journey is that you have to take your focus completely off. This Wonder Woman, Superman tactic is not going to work. In fact, it keeps you where you're at. So you're wondering, okay, you know, when I do that, what happens? You know, it feels great. It feels great. You know, anytime you're in something very hard for you to get through and it's very painful, when you start thinking in that sense of F them, I am strong, I can do it, feels great. But on this journey, when you do that, you get that hit of the TF, because the hit is the focus on the TF. And it feels great. But what ends up happening, literally 100% of the time, if you're on this journey, and you do that, you employ that type of thinking, strategic, that kind of tactic, you're going to feel great. And then you're going to crash. Always. You can't avoid it. Because on this journey, you feed it up, you'll crash. You get a hit, you'll crash. So a lot of times, people will go through those cycles. And then they find themselves here. They find themselves watching one of these videos again, after they watched a few, and they realize they don't have on them, in their knowledge at the time, what they need in order to learn how to feel better. That is my wish and my goal for everyone on this journey. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know how difficult and detrimental it can be. It feels like doomsday in a split second. That's what it feels like, folks. But I'll tell you, no. It's not meant for that. It is not your peril. And it is because your soul said you're ready. So if you're ready, like really ready, you're really ready to figure out, learn, put yourself first, invest in yourself, and say, you know what? It's time for me. If you're ready for that, you're going to want to click on that button below. You're going to want to talk to somebody to help you get started on this journey. And that's what we're here, folks. That's what we're here for, to help you. Because my teacher helped me. My teacher, I swear, if I had not come across her, I don't know where I'd be right now, you know? I don't know where I'd be right now. I certainly would not feel as wonderful as I have for the last couple years. And I certainly would not be able to be here to help other people. It is the most beautiful thing that could ever happen to anyone, especially when you really resonate with what this journey is about. Okay? So get out of that suit, get out of your costume, get out of your garb, and put that down. And start looking at yourself and ask yourself, am I ready? We're ready for you. So I want you to go ahead and you start thinking about that. Start taking that thing off your head. Start taking the cape off. You don't need that, and it's not going to work anyway. Save that for Halloween. Okay, folks, y'all have a wonderful Thursday. God bless, and we'll talk to you again soon. Aloha.